In this video, I'm going to show you how to get over a breakup or get her back. In the end, the process is actually the same, and most people don't realize this. Getting over a breakup could be one of the hardest things you can do in your life. If it's somebody you really love, it's somebody you really care about, like if it's your wife or maybe it's your fiance, trying to get over that kind of a breakup can be incredibly difficult. In fact, it can be one of the hardest things you can do. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to either get your girlfriend back or how to get over here as fast as possible. And the cool thing is the process is the same. The first thing you want to do is don't reach out to her. I know, if she tells you that she loves you, but she's not in love with you, or that she wants some space, the first thing you want to do is you want to reach out and grab her. You want to say, hey, what's going on? What's different? What can we do? What can we change? But this just creates a place where she feels guilty and shameful for having to break up with you to begin with. And generally when a woman breaks up with you, she's been thinking about it for a while. It's not coming out of left field, even if you thought it was. And so you reaching out to her all the time is pulling on her, and it's this needy, insecure energy. And you're only asking her to come back because you don't want to face yourself. You want to face the changes that you're probably going to have to make within yourself in order to either get her back or to attract another woman into your life. The more you reach out to her, the more you reset the process. In other words, if she's trying to get space from you and you keep pulling on her, all you're doing is just resetting the clock for when she come back. You see, time doesn't necessarily heal, it helps you forget. And you get to utilize this and leverage this to your advantage. The more time she spends away from you, not talking to you, not texting you, and not seeing you, she'll start forgetting about the bad, forgetting about all the things that annoyed her. And so when she comes back, maybe a couple months later, and pings you and sees how you're doing, you can actually demonstrate that you're a different guy who didn't do those things that you were doing before that was driving her away. And really, if she doesn't want to be with you, why are you trying to convince her to be with you? It just shows that you have low self-value, low self-worth, or you're afraid that you can't find anybody better, or that she's the best one that you'll ever find, which really says a lot about how you're approaching the situation. And if there's one thing I know about women is that they don't like guys who do not value themselves. They want the best guy that values themselves that they can find. And so if you're putting yourself to this place where you don't value yourself and you keep chasing after her, all you're doing is demonstrating to her over and over and over again that she made the right choice by breaking up with you. Because a guy who has high value would not put up with that. She's like, well, you don't want to be with me. He's like, that's totally fine. I'm just going to go out there and find somebody better. Brother, I can tell you, if you just got broken up with and you're in tears and you don't know what's going on and you're just in your bed all day, you have to manage your emotional state. You're not going to be able to stop texting. You're not going to be able to go out and do things for yourself. You're not going to be able to do healthy things because you're all wrapped up in your emotions and you don't know how to get out of it. So point number 2 is you got to start managing your emotional state. If you keep reaching out to her, you keep trying to pull on her to help you feel better because, well, she's not with you anymore, that's an indication that you probably have been leaning on her for a long time to begin with. And she doesn't need that. She needs you to be emotionally stable, emotionally the rock in the relationship. If you're so caught up and bent out of shape about her leaving you, that tells you that you don't have a lot of other things going on in your life that you really probably should be focusing on, like your purpose or maybe your friends or some other healthy activities outside of the relationship. Most of the time when a guy is so emotionally distraught that the relationship is over, it's because he doesn't have a lot of things going on outside of her. And so if you make your girlfriend your life or your wife your life, don't be surprised that from her perspective, you've got nothing else going on. Brother, I'm going to tell you something right now. Rejection doesn't exist. It exists in your mind because you're hoping that she wants you the way you are. But then she demonstrates that she wants something different than you are. Somehow you want the way you behave or the way you carry yourself, or maybe it's the way you talk, or maybe it's how you present yourself to life. And so she's demonstrated she wants something different than that. And she tried it out for a while and it wasn't a match. She's not rejecting you as a person. The only person who can reject you as a person is you. So again, this goes to your lack of self-worth. So you got to stop looking at her as her rejecting you. You have to depersonalize the situation. You have to depersonalize what's going on. And you have to look at it objectively. Hey, it's just a mismatch. We're just not a good match together, and it's fine. If you look at it that way, you get to maintain your own value for yourself, and then you can look at her and say, hey, you know what, that's fine. I want her to be happy even if it's not with me. You know, that's what love is. Love is about giving, allowing people to be who they are and accepting them for who they are. Not trying to latch onto them and make them different so they'll stay with you, so you'll feel secure and happy and safe. Point number 4 is you got to get clear on what you want. See, most guys have no idea what they want when they get into a relationship. They just find the woman that shows them the most interest and they say, yeah, I think I can make this work. And that's a problem. They don't actually vet the woman out long enough to see if she's a good match. And then when he does get with her, he gets complacent and stops doing different things. He stops growing. He stops being a different kind of guy. And so what happens is the relationship gets stagnant because you got one person who's not growing and probably somebody else who is. And at some point, the disparity becomes so great, the other person's like, I got to check out. I got to find somebody better because this isn't working for me. If you're not clear on what you want, if you're not clear on how you're going to get what you want, then you're never going to get it. Most guys have never had the opportunity to have successful dating opportunities. They've never been in a place where they can have their choice of the kind of woman that they want because they never took the time to go within and deal with their issues, their insecurities. You know, stop trying to be confident. Learn to be secure in yourself. If you become secure in yourself, you're not going to have a problem attracting the kind of woman you want. But again, if you're not accustomed to having the kind of attention from women that you want, you're going to latch on to the best thing that came. And then when she leaves, you're going to say, well, that was the best that could happen. And you have no agency, no control over who you have in your life. And you think that the only kind of women that are going to be in your life are the ones that come after you and pursue you while you sit around and do nothing. But if you get clear on what you want, you get really clear and get detailed on what you want, we can make a plan. And if you have a plan, then we can actually execute that plan. Once you have a plan on what you want, you can start to get after it. That's step number 5. Make your plan, step number 4, and then get after it. Go out there and actually do the things to attract the kind of woman that you want in your life. Go out there, lift weights, make yourself more attractive, work on your style, work on your charisma. Learn to actually interact with people. Get out of the house, turn the Twitch stream off, and just get the fuck out there. Because if you sit around and do nothing, you're going to just get a lot more than what you had. But if you want to have the kind of ability to go out there and have the kind of women you want in your life, and you want to be able to pick from the kind of women you want, then you're going to actually have to execute on that plan. You're going to have to take radical, massive action in your life based on what you want. Figure out what you want and then go after it. Step number 6. Once you've made a plan and then you get after it, you have to actually make changes. Obviously, you're going to find out that, oh, I don't like this kind of woman. I don't like lifting weights. I'd rather run, or maybe I'd like to do parkour, or whatever it happens to be. You got to make changes. Just because you wanted it now doesn't mean you're going to want it later on. And you're going to have to make these changes as you go forward and start iterating back over and over and over again. Okay, now here's my new plan. And this is what I want now. And then you make those changes and you go do those things like, I got to change it up. And we do this both in your dating and in your personal life and with your business. And just remember, brother, you do these things and you get out there and you're focusing on yourself and you're making your life better for you, the ex is probably going to come around and keep watching what you're doing. Because at one point in time, she was a match for you. You were her type. But something came along where she started seeing, he's not quite hitting on all the marks that I need. And so she said, I'm going to have to go change. Or I'm going to have to change the partner because I don't see him changing in the way that I need him to change for me and my growth, to where I want to go with my life. And so when you create that separation by not reaching out to her, that gives you enough space to go and actually make these changes. Then 2-3 months down the road, she's going to contact you again, almost guaranteed, as long as you didn't put all the nails in a coffin. And then she's going to see what's going on. She's going to want to see these changes. And then she's going to test it. She's going to test you. She's going to say, hey, is he actually different? And women only test for a couple of reasons. But the first reason they test you for is, are you a liar? Did you actually make the changes, or are you just playing this game? You put a mask on. And then if she finds out that you're just a liar, well, then you won't get a third chance. So if you like this video, consider subscribing. And also, if you need help with your relationships, you're going through a betrayal situation, or maybe your wife also gave you the I love you, but I'm not in love with you statement, and you feel like you're the guy who's just providing all the gifts and stuff, and you're not actually the lover, but the provider, and you want to reconcile those two, have your wife be both your lover and you're the provider, then go ahead and text me at this number below, and I'll reach out to you. We'll have a conversation, see what's going on, and maybe this next steps will make sense for you moving forward with genuine attraction.